longtime valued member. This is a board member, and she is the owner now of the Heisserer family real estate investment team. A place we don't see up front so much. She's been behind the scenes a lot of the times, and now we finally talked her into coming to the front and sharing some of her talents with us. So I'm going to turn it over to Beth.
Hello there. I'm not used to getting up and speaking, so you have to go along with me. I have been doing this appeal process. We've owned property for about 40 years now. In some years I do better than others. Part of the problem is they change, it seems like, what they focus on. 4 years ago, they focused more on the comps and the conditions of your property. And 2 years ago, they didn't care at all. They wanted price per square foot. So I'm going to go over kind of both of those, and you should have a couple pages of how to do this. And if you have any questions, stop me and just ask. So you go on the St. Louis County website. It's stlewisco.com, and it will pull up on this screen you see here. So the first thing you do is go to real estate information. Okay, and then you go down to property address. And the trick here is do not put drive, avenue, lane, any of those things, or it won't find it. So you just put the number and the address. You then go to owner assessment. And this house went from 251.2 to 297.8. That's the appraised value that they think. So what I do is actually write down 297.8, because the next step, or a couple of steps from now, you'll need to remember what that number is. And then go back up to the top and look under property. When you do these appeals, when you do these appeals, they will ask you all of these things that are on your property information. So what I do is I print this off, and then I actually circle things like, it is a brick house. It was built around 1951. It's a ranch. It has 6 rooms, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's 1658 square foot. And so I circle all of those things. Then I take that 1658 square foot and figure out what my price per square foot is. And I said it was $297,800. If you figure that out, it's $179.61 per square foot. So my goal is to find properties that are under the $297,800 and are around 1658 square foot and are at a lesser value than the $179.61 per square foot. So the next thing that we need to do is go up to sales in your area. And you see here, it says price per square foot. If you click on that, and then go back to it, And it'll be an ascending order. So you see these first ones are $55.40 per square foot. The problem is St. Louis County will only look at ones that are sale validity of the letter X. You need the letter X to be under sale validity. And what X means is that it was listed on the MLS and that it sold to a buyer, that it was not as-is property, it was not a foreclosure, it was just a real sale. So what I do, armed with, I'm looking for $297,800, something that's less, and the $179.61 per square foot. I'm looking for those. Then I go down and try to find under sale validity an X. So I'll just start scrolling. Oh, here's an X, number 8. It shows on Katrina Court. 0.54 means that it's a half mile from the subject house. It sold on 2/23/21 for $225. So that would be good, except the house that we were looking at was a ranch house. So you cannot compare a split foyer with a ranch. So now I have to keep looking. I've got to go down and look for another X. So okay, here's one on number 31 on Grand Hill Drive. It's 0.79 miles from the subject house. It sold for $27.21, but it sold at $350. So you don't want to do that because it sold for more than what they're appraising yours for. So again, you've got to keep looking. And then again, these ones like 33, 34, those are all higher than what that $297 price is. So I am going to go ahead, and I know where the ones that I got the comps are, so I'm going to go ahead and scroll to that. Correct. Yeah, if you have a split, you want to find split foyers. If you have a ranch, you want to find a ranch. Now, they really don't care when it says masonry and frame, or if it's just a frame, vinyl and frame, I think it is. Those are close enough. They don't really care about that. At least they haven't. So now, the ones that I'm using comps for is number 92, 93, and 94. If you look, they're all at 0.65 distance, 0.49 distance, 0.63 distance. They all sold from 1/1/21, which is their criteria, to 4/1/23. And that's the criteria. That's the only homes you're going to see in these sales in your area. So under 92, the first one sold at 8/25/21 for $215. That's below the $297.8. It sold at 163.37 is the price per square foot. It was what they considered a valid sale. It's a brick, just like the subject property was a brick. It's a ranch, just like the subject property was a ranch. And this one is 1316 square foot. The subject property was 1658. It's close, but not real close, but it's a 6-room, 2-bedroom, and then 3 baths. There's 2 full baths and 1 half bath. And that's, as you go along the line, that's what those are. The next one, which is actually closer, is on Cramper. number 93, and that's 0.49 miles away. It sold a 3 of 21 for 260. That's still below the 297.8. It sold at 164.66 per square foot, and it was again a valid sale. It's a brick or ranch built around the same time, 1955, and the square footage is about the same, 1579. It was a 7-room, 3-bedroom, and 2 bath, 1 full bath and 1 half bath. And then the third comp that I was using is the next one down, 9865 East Concord Road. It's 0.63 miles away, sold 3/4 of 21 for 265,000. 164.80. Again, it's a valid sale. It's a brick, a ranch built in 1953, which I think was the same year as the subject property, and 1608 square foot, and it's a 6-room, 3-bedroom, and 2 full baths, 1 half bath. I always use at least 3. If you can't find 3 comps, then you might as well hang it up, because they give you 5 comps. When they give you the comps that are the sales that they're using. So I've never had anybody say anything if I have 3. I can just say, your price too high. These are 160s, and you had me at 179. And you think, $20 a square foot, but that's still, it's lowering the price of the subject house from like $297 to about $250, $260. So you're saving, paying on $30,000. Sure. You go back up to the top, and you can look at the comps they use. See where they say comparable sales? All I've ever done is St. Louis County. I know nothing about St. Louis City, Jefferson County, St. Charles County.
Yeah, let me just throw in a comment there. This is strictly St. Louis County. I know St. Charles, city and county myself, and they're similar. The website's not going to exactly look like this, but if you go through a similar process with the comps, just go to the assessor's database in St. Charles County. It's probably the same in Jefferson County or whatever. But this is just the process of doing this and we'll look at.
Okay, so if you would go to St. Louis County and look under comparable sales, these are the ones that they compared it with, and you can go down and they give you like it's brick, it's ranch, they give you, and I, one of the very first ones that we did was about a 1,300 square foot. And so they use that here also, so I felt comfortable in using that. The next thing, if you see the very first one says average, that's the property that is my property. And you see the rest of them are good and very good. That's on condition. And so what I do there is I take pictures that my kitchen is not new, my bathroom is not new. I have issues with the foundation or anything that you can find that are reasons that yours would not sell at the top dollar are things that you need to take pictures of. Let's see, the cracks in the basement walls, if you have older windows, and the pictures do have to be current. And 2 years ago, when I tried doing it, it was during COVID. And I was using some of the older pictures, and they went back and they found the pictures that I had used 2 years previously. And they said, well, you're just using the same pictures. We can't use these. And I said, these people don't want me in their house, it's COVID, and they don't want me even in there, so I can't take new pictures. We haven't done anything, these are the same people that are living there. But, you know, that's kind of what I came up with, you know, a few years ago when COVID hit. So now we're back and condition takes off quite a bit. So if you do have, things that you can take pictures of, old carpet, you know, you don't have the vinyl plank flooring, you don't have, or you have cracks in like ceilings or walls or things like that. Those are the things that will lower your condition and desirability to average. Those are things that we have, you know, gotten it to go down. I think it's excellent, very good, good, average, fair, and poor. Now, I have gotten maybe one or two to go to fair. I've never had a poor. A lot of them will go from good down to average, and that does save you quite a bit of money. The next step, does anybody have any questions on this part? He was asking how close the square footage needs to be. The closer the better, because then you can say, see, this one has 1,600 square foot, mine has 1,658. Or this one has 1,500 square foot, mine has 1,658. But yet it sold for less and the price per square foot was less. So those are the things that I go in on, is price per square foot and then taking pictures of the condition of the house. And I always try and use the argument that if I would try selling mine as it is right now, I have like a 30-year-old kitchen. It still looks fine, but it's a 30-year-old kitchen. It's not new. I would have to sell my house as is, because it has a 30-year-old kitchen, or, you know, whatever things that you have that are wrong with your house. Does anybody have any other questions about this part of it? Okay. And then the next thing to do is under property value appeal. And this is where you actually file your paperwork. You get all of this other information ready. And then there should be, in your little packet, the 2023 Property Assessment Appeal Form. And I can go through that with you as to, and actually it's on the website here. There it is, sorry. Okay, so the most important thing you have here is, I told you at the beginning, you were supposed to print off that property sheet. Whatever it says is the owner on that property sheet is what you have to have in there. If there's something different, if you leave out an initial, they're really picky on that kind of stuff. Also, you need to put the locator number, and that's on that sheet that I told you to print out from property. Then you put in the address of the property. You circle, it's a residential, I'm assuming. You know, if you have a commercial that you're appealing, I've never done a commercial, so don't know if they use the same kind of categories or not. Then assessor's fair market value that you're appealing, that would be that $297,800 on this subject property. And then owner's opinion of the fair market value, I always put in what they did it as 2 years ago. And the reason being, I had to agree to whatever it was 2 years ago. So that was a good starting point for me, is, you know, the fair market value from 2 years ago. Then under reason for requesting a change, again, I say things like the price per square foot is too high. See the comps that I have, they are all, and I put the X out, valid sales, they are all lower per square foot. And then I also say condition, that our house is older, has original kitchen or original bath or whatever. And then see photos. And if I would need to sell, I would need to sell it as is in an open market. I could not sell it as the same kind of ones that you're doing for comps. And then you have the appeal hearing method. The first one is they'd like you to waive your appearance, but I've never done that. I don't know. I think if you waive it, they probably throw it in the trash, but I don't know that. I've never done a video conference just because they may call at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm somewhere that I'm not close to, a computer or whatever. I always choose the hearing by a telephone conference. And then under the next section, if you have LLCs or an S Corp or a C Corp or however you're holding it and it's not held in your name, you have to put as an alternate contact. And I put myself because we have LLCs. And where it says BOE agent number, you have to actually get a number from the Board of Equalization for you to be able to represent your house because it's an LLC. The owner of that house is the LLC, not you. So for you to represent that house, you have to actually get an agent number from them. I got an agent number years ago when we did these LLCs, and it's the same number year after year, and they just have the file, I guess, under my agent number. So then you just fill in this alternate contact if the person that's not the owner is the one that's coming to appeal it, or who they're going to be talking to. And then you sign it, and you can either, there's 3 things. You can either take it in, which is usually what I do. I go and drop it off in Clayton, or you can, let's see. You can do a Dropbox at the county. You can mail the appeal, or you can upload all of your things and do it online. I uploaded everything last time because it was COVID. They didn't even have a Dropbox at that time. For me, I'm old. I don't like uploading everything. To me, it took a whole lot more time than it does for me to print pictures off and make a little packet and then drop it off. So, does anybody have any questions about this part of it? You just ask them for a number for you. The very first year that I went there, that we were an LLC, I went there and I said, I am not the owner, my LLC is the owner, what do I do? And they're the ones that told me, they went into their little computer and gave me an agent number, and then they showed me that I needed to fill in this alternate contact, and put my name, my phone numbers. I was the one that signed it for my LLC. So when it says signature, I actually do sign it as an LLC with my name next to it.
So when you fill out the form and you send in the packet, do you send them the pictures at that time?
Yeah.
Everything, so it's complete?
I send everything. I have my appeal form. I have my subject property. I have all of my comps, and on my comps, I have the address of the comp, I have comp one, address of the comp, how far away it is. I circle all of those things that I had said to circle on the subject property, so that they can see that these are all really close to what my subject property is. And then I also help them out by putting the price per square foot of the comps, you know, down here so that they can see. And I also circle that it's a valid sale, and then it sold for $215 on 8/25/21. I try to help them see why they should lower my price per square foot.
You sent in 3?
I send in 3 comps. If I can't find 3, then I just don't do it. I just think they would not. I mean, they're giving 4 or 5 comps, and so I never had a problem when I did them 3. I guess I could try 2, but I usually figure that mine's probably pretty well priced if I can't find 3 comps. Any other questions?
On your comps, they were from 2021, there's no issue with that. As far as-
Those are the comps that they use. There's 1/1 of 21 to 4/1 of 23. And those are the comps that they use, and those are the comps that you'll see when you click that that little thing that says, sales in your area.
All of the properties, they get everything, and outside it's not the end of the city. You know, go back to the siding and whatever, at night, inside there, nothing but that. Okay? And they are paid 3 times in what you are doing. How do you do that?
Well,
That's harmful.
you take pictures of all of those things that are not good on the inside, and you try and get that condition lowered. You know, where I was saying that, I've gotten a lot of them lowered to average condition from good or very good. And it seems to have worked for me. I think I've only had 1 house that has went fair. So you can't, you know, expect to get fair, very many, I don't think. But
So is that what's so bad for farmers that, it's in business that falls, business or something like that, I think.
yeah, also,
Also,
if you have, any bids on like replacing your kitchen or replacing your windows or things like that, you can include those and say, my house requires new windows. Or, you know, I have a 30-year-old kitchen. In order to redo my kitchen, it would be this much money. So if you have those bids, then they will look at that and say, well, yeah, you know, they do need to have it updated, or else it should not be comparable to the ones that are sold that were all fixed up.
you have comparable from contractor or yourself?
We've always gotten ones from contractors, you know, that give you the bids for like windows or, you know, kitchens or gas. I'm sorry, I didn't know what you said.
Business, everything,
Yeah,
completely cut down.
yeah. So that's kind of how I've always done it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Jean?
It seems like this is a lot of work for you, and I guess what difference are you looking for to make it worth your while? Is it like 10,000 less than what they're assessing you at?
Well, it's usually more than that. Like I said, on this property, I think there was $30,000 difference that I would not be paying taxes on if I can get it down to the to the price per square foot that they're wanting. I did include pictures, even though I'm not expecting them to lower the condition of this house. I don't think they're gonna put, go any lower than average. But the reason they have it at average is, the age of the kitchen, the bath, those kind of things.
Now I was just looking at my own assessed value on my home, and I called them, and I live in the city, and I called them and they said that the assessed value is anywhere from 90 to 110% of retail.
I don't know anything about it. I don't pay any attention to assessed value. I know that's how they tax it, but I don't know what that tax rate is. I think it varies from municipality to municipality in the county. And we have ones in like Afton, Melville, Lindbergh, Oakville. So I don't even want to deal with that. I just deal with the appraised value, the price per square foot, and the condition.
What do you suggest if they value the land 90% of the value?
I don't go with the land thing either. I mean, we don't have any properties that are just land, so I don't know anything about that. I just do ones that have an appraised value for the house, the land, everything, and try and reduce that.
Because I mean, if I look at the condition of the house, they're saying it's only worth 10% of the overall value. So I can beat up that condition as much as I want, but I'm still not going to get any value down unless I get things out of that. And that's what I've done. But
What's your success rate?
It seems like I end up taking in about 8, and I usually get 6 of them to be reduced. So, to me, it's worth it. I save pretty much on each one. So, and that goes for 2 years. Well, once you get used to doing this, you can go pretty quickly. It's like I said, you're looking for valid sales, there are certain criteria you're looking for, and if it doesn't meet it, then you just go to the next.
And once you get it down to a level, then you're less likely to have to work on that one next in 2 years.
Right.
I know that. I was just talking with you earlier about that.
Right.
One that I protested, appealed a couple of years ago. There's one that increased 30% now, but I'm not gonna go back and do it, because it's still, I'm looking at the market value. It's probably a good value now, maybe a couple more years ago. But, it's something over here to do.
I think you've done a marvelous job explaining
you.
this to us.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I'm not as smart as you, and I'm taking the pictures of that part, I can handle that, but doing the rest of the part, going into the county and that, so I don't do that. I use a company called Par Residential.
I've heard of them, yeah.
They've been around for years.
Yes.
I use them for my commercial property and my residential property. And if they don't save you money, it's free. And this is the way they work it. You send them the pictures and do everything that said, just like she explained it. And they will file for you, and they will take 1/2 of what they saved you the first year, and 1/2 of what they saved you the second year. And after that, they don't take any more money. But you don't have to go through all of that work, and it makes it a whole lot simpler. And thank you so much for the wonderful job you did. We appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Who voted it? That one you neutral? So if there is a price and now that is the more than what they have to say. Am I misunderstanding you? I understood that they have to, they would be neutral. So if there is the price and taxes goes up, then rate has to come down. Like this one.
That's what I'm trying to get them not to do this.
There are limits, legal limits that they can't raise the tax more than a certain percentage every year. So if the whole base goes up by 30%, say, then they're gonna tax the base at a lower rate. But, year one or two properties that they get, or 6 or 7 properties that they're doing, probably isn't gonna go down, to drive the whole county rate down to the, so it's a big, you're gonna have to come up with that. What your assessed value is.
Yeah, I understand the use of farm, because I use car also, but what I do know is any dollar she gets is 100% hers, and there's no cut at all. And when you do it a lot, you guys get a lot more from, because I used to do my own, and then I got 2 days and I part of mine. But, and when you go down that road, you want to be careful about, there's outfits that'll do it for 30% instead of the 50% the car does, but they won't take a lot of jobs you have to do. And then everything she does, she makes that decision herself, and it's all in her pocket, so that means she's buying dinner again.
Yeah, and still, you gotta go take the pictures and prepare a lot of data, even part of it, for doing. All they basically do is just fill out the paperwork and they some Thompson. They take pictures? Yeah, you have to take pictures, yeah, you have to take pictures. Sometimes it's disturbing your tenants, if they've been living there for 10 years.
Yeah.
That's some of our tenants did, yeah. Current pictures. I didn't know there was some pictures about pictures. I had to take some pictures this week.
Well, they were in St. Louis County or 2 years ago.
Okay. That's why I'm holding off filing my bill. As soon as I'm gonna go home and file my packages, I'm gonna file my properties. So I heard here tonight. A question?
Property on North Hill, and I was doing the best. I paid $4,500 for it. I paid $5 good $10 for it. They had a tax at $20,400. I haven't done any rehab to it at all, but it just went up to $54,800. So I'm thinking if I'm gonna do this, can I get down maybe to $10,000?
When did you purchase it?
This past tax sale.
So like a year ago? You should be able to also include your, sales contract, you know, or your statement, the office statement they give you at the closing. And then also take pictures and showing the condition and blah, blah, blah. And hey, I only bought it for this, it was on the market, you know, and kind of use that as your, was it like listed in the MLS or was it tax sale? Okay. No, it's not gonna be a valid sale, but. Yeah.
I can't sell it.
You can't. Right. Right. And those are the things that I would use, and then also the condition. Because you may have a condition that would be not even fair, maybe it would be 4. You know, 4 is the bottom condition. If you get those conditions lowered, they stay lower for a long time. And it lowers your price. But not right now, it's not. it depends on who you have as those three people at the Board of Equalization. Last year, they skipped, everybody went straight to the Board of Equalization. So when they called you, they had three people on there, and they were asking me questions, was what my experience was. Now that could be too, because I had multiple properties that I do. Because it used to be, you would go and talk to someone from the county first. If you didn't like what their outcome was, you asked to speak to the appraiser. They actually had independent appraisers that they paid, and you would go to that step. And then from that step, if you didn't like what the appraiser said, then you would go to the Board of Equalization. Most of the time, though, when they had the independent appraisers, I was able to negotiate a price that I felt was fair and that they thought was fair, because appraisers understand that if you don't have a brand new kitchen and you don't have brand new gas and you don't have your floors redone, people are going to pass by your house. You're not going to sell it at the top dollar. And they understood that, so they were better about changing the condition or, changing the price per square foot. They did it for me 2 years ago, but that was during COVID. So many things changed at
And I
COVID.
think it's to be suggested to who's on your board. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done a price per square foot before. I've looked at homes that are very comparable in size and square footage, and then basically compare recent sales, go to Zillow, get pictures off of Zillow, recent sales, and then compare to that, not pictures alone, don't have the.
Well, if you're finding them at a lesser value with the same square footage pretty much as yours, then that is going to be a lesser price per square foot.
Yeah, good, yeah. Come on, St. Charles, everybody rehads their houses.
No.
When they're going on the market, I'll make my last.
Right, when they're going on the market.
And I don't buy them on the other street.
Any other questions, anyone?
Okay, like I mentioned, this is for St. Louis County, but it's a similar process. I went through a similar process in St. Charles County. And you just have to look at your website, your county's website, and look it up. And also, it is a timely thing, because I think that date to get to file for your appeal is the second Tuesday, the second Monday of July. July 10th, okay, St. Charles County, July 10th, the second, I think that's probably a state regulation. So it's the second Monday in July, you have to get all this together. So this is a very timely topic, we hope to get that on now, because next month will be too late. If you haven't done this by next month, you gotta wait another 2 years. So it's very timely. Well, we appreciate it. Yeah, come on, let's see where we're at. Thank you very much. Okay, appreciate y'all coming. You heard a lot of folks talking, we're networking earlier, and want to talk to somebody. This is your opportunity. All I ask is, we are tenants of this facility. All I ask, let's leave our tables the same way you found when you came in, just like our tenants do. Pick up your trash, deposit them in the receptacles, and we'll see y'all next month, if not before. Thanks all for coming.